So,
You want to start it?
I'm gonna bring out the definition,
Okay,
and then let's get that Romans 15:4.
I got
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto
you. Yahweh
Yahweh,
Ba'Shem,
Ba'Shem,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahushua,
Ba'Shem,
Ba'Shem,
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful leg out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua. All right, with GMS Mississippi Camp, I'm the brother Yasha Moffin to my right.
You run Yashar.
All right, what we're going to get into today, this afternoon, dealing with cultural norms from the aspect of faith and adversity. Okay, as we did the lesson, earlier dealing with cultural norms going into black culture. Now I want to touch on it. We're going to touch on it from the aspect of faith and adversity. Okay, so I want to get the definition of cultural norms. It says, what is the definition of cultural norms? All right, it says norms are the agreed upon expectations and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its members in any given situation. Okay, so when you go to the cultural norms of our forefathers, and even some of our foremothers that was in the right spirit, it was always normal for them to have faith in adversity. In any given situation that they will find themselves in, they always reacted in faith. Even in death, they acted in faith. Okay? So we're going to get some of those accounts, all right, and just to show how in all these different situations it was culturally normal for our righteous forefathers and foremothers to showcase faith. You know, you got it, bro.
This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning,
Yep.
that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Yeah. So anything that was written, aforetime was written for our learning. So we have these records because we grew up in a society in this time where we didn't see, our people having faith in adversity. Okay, we seen our people begging the white man for mercy, integrating with the so-called white man, conforming to the so-called white man, or conforming to the culture that the so-called white man gave us, which was nigger culture. Okay, we didn't see anyone taking stances for faith for Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. But see, we have the records because as we remember, because part of us remembering ourselves is going into these accounts, man. You know, you got it, bro.
Verse 5. Now,
That was it. Yeah.
okay.
Let's start off with second. Maccabees 6:18. Just get some examples of our forefather. Okay.
This is second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Yeah. So this is when the Greeks was turning our people out, making them Hellenized. Okay, make them sacrifice swine, eat swine, you know, worship Greek gods, not to be circumcised, not to call themselves, Israelites. Okay, so this is the Greeks Hellenizing our people, but you had the righteous of our people that took a stand. Okay, go ahead.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spitted forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
Yeah, so he already had his mind made up. He gonna die. He gonna die behind this shit, man. You see? And today, what do we see? Niggas dying over a color, over a woman, over a block.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stupid shit. But nah, our forefathers was dying, okay, for righteousness, man. So he had his mind made up. Nah, I'm gonna die behind this decision I'm finna make, man. You know?
It shows his integrity too.
Yep.
It said he went on his own accord.
Yep.
Like, you might as well go ahead and take me out.
Yep. Yeah, bro.
Verse 20, as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of the wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
Yeah, so they pulled him to the side, the higher ups, because Eleazar was an aged man. And, he probably had different acquaintances, amongst the Greeks. Okay? Because one thing about it, when you're a stand-up guy, even people that don't agree with you, they still respect you.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to make him like, look, man, just come on, man. We don't want to do this to you, man. Just, all right, look, act like you eating swine. Pick whatever meat you want and just act like you eating. So they came at him from that angle. Okay, go ahead.
That in so doing, he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
Yeah, go ahead.
But he began to consider discreetly, and as become his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave.
Yep. So he like, look, pretty much like, I'm an aged man. I've been, I've been having a good report from my youth up. Why would I want to stain my legacy, man? Okay, just to prolong my life. And that's another thing. Our forefathers, they was highly concerned with their legacy and the name that they was leaving behind. See, that's when you thinking immortal, when it's way more about you and your life. Okay? They were like, nah, what type of example will I leave if I did that? Like, they was thinking of the ripple effect. Mm-hmm. See, we live in a society where you got cultural norms, okay, where no one thinks about the ripple effect.
Or how it's gonna affect the next person.
Yeah. People like I say, because even the simple things, being a mother and a father, before you become a father, you become a father before the children get there. Like, as a man, you will try to add value to yourself, get the best paying job you can get, or try to establish something before the children get there. Because you're being a father before they get there. As a mother, your selection in the man, that's you being a mother before the child get there. But we live in a society where no one is thinking nothing but the moment. They're not even thinking ahead in their life, let alone the next generation. Mm-hmm. But now it was a cultural norm for our forefathers to think about the generations ahead, man. When Jacob got the blessing from Esau, when he supplanted the blessing from Esau, he was thinking of his generation. Remember, when Jacob got the blessing, he ain't had no children. Mm-hmm. You see, he was putting the play together for his children before he had children, man. Okay, and that was a cultural norm of the men of our nation, man. Okay, you finna say something?
No, I was just hearing what you said.
You got it,
bro. Verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to disassemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were not gone to a strange religion.
Yeah, so he was thinking about the youth for that time. Okay, which he was because the youth was if the youth thought that Eleazar, if the people looked up to Eleazar, and see, that's what these sellouts do. Like these jakes that are idolized. Okay. That's why, Esau controls these niggas, because these niggas control the masses. Mm-hmm. So really, they're just a puppet of Esau. So he can get these, and this is how he made a lot of things normal in so-called black culture, was through what? Celebrities and entertainers. Okay, so Eleazar understanding his influence that he had, he like, nah, man, we ain't finna run that play. You know, you got.
And so they, through mind hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable.
Mm-hmm.
For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither dead nor alive.
Yeah, so he understood. He displayed a healthy fear of Yahweh Shem Shai. He displayed fear of the Lord above fear of man. And see, we come to a time we're going to have to exemplify this same type of fear, you know, and it could be soon, you know, very soon, man. The way things are going. All right, you got it, bro.
Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such an one as my age requireth,
Mm-hmm.
and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willfully and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
So what was he doing? He was establishing cultural norms of faith in adversity, man, and it's recorded. Okay, and in the kingdom, that's gonna be attached to his legacy, man. All right. And see, now we're as believers, we're starting to think like this now. Okay, let's get that in the death. You know, he wasn't worried about the death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, death didn't deter him from his faith, and we come to a time where death can't deter us from our faith, man. Go ahead.
And then he said for this present time. So
Yep.
he was saying this in this lifetime, I might not have got killed by y'all or in this present moment,
Yep.
but the Lord who controls all, neither death or life, I still got to deal with him.
Yep.
So he, like you said, he understood that even though it's not just about this lifetime.
It's really like he pretty much was like, I'd rather fall into man's wrath, but into the Lord's mercy, than follow into man's mercy, then have to deal with the Lord's wrath.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they get that C hip, that's gonna be them going for man's mercy, but they're gonna have to deal with the Lord's wrath. You know?
Yep.
You got it, bro.
You said Daniel 2.
Daniel 3:16.
This is Daniel chapter 3, verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If so be, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace,
Mm-hmm.
and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Yeah, so the king, you know, is pretty much trying to make a deal with them. Like, look, you know, they told me y'all ain't been bound. All right. I forget it. But on the next one, I'm gonna need y'all to bow. The next time y'all hear the music, I'm gonna need y'all to bow to the image. Okay? And what Esau trying to get us to do what today? Bow to the image. All right. So when the king got through talking, this is what they said. They're like, look, man, we not careful to answer you. All right, we not finna play semantics or, you know, uh, 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 be be light how we answer. We're gonna be direct. You know, look, we not gonna bow. All right, and whatever happen gonna happen. If the Lord, He's able to deliver us. If He don't, then it's His will. All right, but then He's gonna go on to say, you keep reading.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Yeah, so they were like, look, even if the Lord don't deliver us, it's gonna be recorded that we didn't bow.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So even if the Lord don't deliver us, it's gonna be recorded that we didn't bow. Okay? So we're gonna be in position where, hey, it might be set up for us to have to take the death. Okay, but it's gonna be recorded that they did not bow the knee. Okay? And when Yahweh shall return, guess what, man? We're gonna be risen up in glory. Those that have the are faced with death, man. Okay, you got it, bro.
Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandments was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Mm-hmm.
And these 3 men fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?
Mm-hmm.
They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
So through their faith, Yahushua intervened. Yahushua was there. He said they was loose in the fire, man. Okay? You gotta think like what's coming, Jacob's trouble, this is gonna be the Lord's anger, which is gonna be the Lord's fire kindled in the earth. But it said these men were loose in the fire. Remember, the scripture said, My servant shall eat, your servant shall be. Okay? This is where we at. Okay, we in circumstances to where if it's the Lord will for us to die, guess what? We still have an unstained legacy, man. Or if it's for His will to deliver us, guess what, man? We're gonna be in good case. But the thing is, they both had to make a stance, all right, of faith in adversity, man. Okay, whether you die or the Lord have mercy, guess what? We still gotta make a stand, man. And this is just what they did. You know, you got it, bro.
It says, Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire.
So they just walked out the furnace, man. The furnace on fire, man. It's so hot that it's a devouring fire. You can't even get close to it, you'll get melted. But they walked out of it. Okay? But what provoked that, man? Their faith, the stance that they took. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was any hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
So that was good. But what led them to being in that good condition? Faith in adversity, man. Okay, let's get that in 2 Maccabees 15:8. You know, that's why it's good to be familiar with these accounts and read these accounts, because it's creating a cultural norm in our spirit. So once we get in these situations, we know to react like Eleazar. We know to act like, Mishael, Hananiah, and Azariah, man. Those 3 Hebrew boys, man. Go ahead.
This is 2 Maccabees 15. I'm gonna start at verse 7.
Yeah, that's all good.
It says, But Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid.
To what? Expect. Now let's go to the definition, cultural norms. He said to expect the victory and aid. A cultural norm. Norms are the agreed upon expectations and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its member in any given situation. So you had Eleazar, all right, that was they wanted to force him to eat swine. And you see how he reacted. The 3 Hebrew boys, they want to put them in the furnace. You see how they reacted. Now you have the Maccabees, they're in the war, they in battle with the Greeks. But what do they go back to? Their expectation. Their expectations of the aid from Yahweh Bashim that guided their behavior. All right? Because it says, it says the agreed upon expectation and rules by which a culture guides the behavior of its members in any given situation. So the situation changed, but their behavior stayed the same based on their expectations of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, precept 2.
Yeah.
It's gonna be afterwards though.
Yeah. Okay.
This verse 8 again, 2 Maccabees 15 and 8. It says, wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which shall come unto them from the Almighty. And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore, he made them more cheerful.
So he said he comforted them out of the law and the prophets. So you don't think he went into Daniel and got that account we got? Okay, he was comforted. You see, you don't think he went into how the Lord came through for Joseph? You know, they the Moses, the Joshua, all the battles Joshua won. They was going into those things, man. You know, and what did you see? A cultural norm established of faith in adversity, man.
Job,
yep, for sure. Job, okay, King David, you know. Go ahead.
It says, and when he had stirred up their minds, he gave them their charge, showing them therewithal the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oaths. Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with defense of shields and spears, as with comfortable and good words.
With comfortable and good words. That's why this word is so important going out. This word is creating a cultural norm amongst the believers. That's why we're going to react different in these circumstances. That's why as believers, we're all going to be in different circumstances. But our reaction is going to be based off our cultural norms of faith in adversity, man. Okay?
Well, I said wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time and strength of salvation.
Strength of salvation.
And then the fear of the Lord is his treasure. It says, and besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them.
Yep. That was it. You get them.
Okay.
Get precept.
This is Ezekiel 18. I'm gonna read 23 and 24, because like you said, this is the mindset that our people had, and they also understood that they didn't want to stain, like Eleazar said, he didn't want to stain his righteousness. He understood their process. This is Ezekiel 18 and 23. It says, have I pleasure at all that the wicked should die, saith the Lord, and not that he should return from his ways and live? But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned, and his trespass that he have trespassed, and his sin that he have sinned, he in them shall he die. And that's going back to what Eleazar said, that he had this life where he was living, righteously according to the Lord's standards, and they get out to the very end. If he had committed that iniquity, his righteousness would have been stained. His legacy would have been stained.
It would destroy his whole body of work.
Mm-hmm.
Read that in the book of Judah, chapter 8. Started like 7.
You said Jude?
Judah.
Oh, okay.
Just get another account.
This is Judah chapter 8, verse 7. It says, she was also of a goodly countenance and very beautiful to behold.
And this speaking of Judah, all right, who was the widow, okay, that the book of Judah is written about. But the thing is, it's another book of faith. Go ahead.
And her husband Manasseh had left her gold and silver and men service and maid service and cattle and lands, and she remained upon them. And there was none that gave her an ill word, as she feared the Most High greatly. Now when she heard the evil words of the people against the governor, that they fainted for lack of water, for Judah had heard all the words that Ozias had spoken unto them, and that he had sworn to deliver the city unto the Assyrians after 5 days.
Yeah, so you had Ozias, and he pretty much the head elders, and when he heard about the Assyrians, getting ready to besiege, Jerusalem, he, pretty much put the Lord on the timetable. Like if the Lord don't come and intervene in 5 days, we just gonna give the city to the captain, of the uh of the heathen army, which it was I think of the Babylonians, I want to say. All right, but he was, the Neo-Babylonians pretty much just absorbed the Assyrian Empire, so it say Assyrian, Go ahead.
Then she sent her waiting woman that had the government of all things that she had to call Ozias and Cabrius and Charmus, the ancients of the city. And they came unto her, and she said unto them, Hear me now, O ye governors of the inhabitants of Bethulia.
Yeah.
For your words that ye have spoken before the people this day are not right.
So now, Judith is, because the men were tripping, okay, and Judith, her husband had to be a man of high regard, because how well off she was left, and she was able to, have contact with those governors, okay. So based on the status of her husband, she was in particular circles. Now, Judith is in the right spirit. Jake is tripping. Okay, so you had this account. This don't mean that you women should be in authority, because a lot of women, they use the book of Judith, to try to usurp authority and, bring feminism. Because Judith wasn't telling them what type of women they can deal with and how many women. Nah, they were tripping about. They had a lack of faith. Okay, this is what Judith was addressing, the lack of faith. You got it, bro.
It says, For your words that ye have spoken before the people this day are not right, touching this oath which ye made and pronounced between the Most High and you, and have promised to deliver the city to our enemies, unless within these days the Lord turn to help you. And now who are ye that ye have tempted the Most High this day, and stand instead of the Most High among the children of men? And now try the Lord Almighty, but ye shall never know anything. For ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can ye search out the Most High, that have made all these things, and know his mind, or comprehend his purpose? Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Lord our God to anger. For if he will not help us within these 5 days, he have power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies.
Yeah, so she said that's up to the Lord. Like Jake was trying to play, being God's stead by putting a timetable on it and saying, well, what they gonna do. Well, you don't know the intent of the Lord. You don't know if he's gonna work a miracle or not. So, but they were trying to, play. She was like, look, y'all trying to play like y'all the Most High, saying what y'all gonna do to with the people. Like these are the Lord's people. You don't know what he intended to do, whether to save or destroy, but you can't put it on no timetable. Hey, because we're going to be in circumstances, man, to where, if it's going to be people who like, it's going to be Israelites who going to put the Most High on the timetable. Like, look, if we ain't ate in these 4 days, after the 4th day, man, we're going to go on, and get that thing. Okay, you best believe it's gonna be people that's gonna have the Most High on the timetable, but nah, we just gotta wait. Okay, because whether he destroy us, whether he leave us to be destroyed, or he deliver us, that's on him. But we ain't gonna make the decision for him. Say what we gonna do, man. All we gonna be subjugated to waiting. You got it, bro.
It says, Do not bind the counsels of the Lord our God. For the Most High is not as man, that he may be threatened, neither is he as the Son of Man, that he should be wavering. Therefore let us wait for salvation of him, and call upon him to help us, and he will hear our voice if it please him.
Yeah, so she understood that, look, man, All right, nah, we're not gonna play threaten the Most High or putting him, giving him an ultimatum. You know how not disrespectful that is.
Right.
If your son tell you, if you don't buy me a PlayStation by next week, I'm gonna run away.
Right.
It's like what, nigga? Yeah, we finna go through this sheet. You know what I'm saying? Tell you, you got the next week to buy me a PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. But that's Jake was tripping. Okay. Well, that's why you go to Lamentation 3:24.
It's Lamentations chapter 3, verse 24. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul, therefore will I hope in him.
Yeah, the Lord is my portion, save my soul, therefore will I hope in him. Go ahead.
The Lord is good to them that wait for him,
Yep.
to the soul that seeketh him.
The soul that wait for him, the soul that seeketh him. And we're gonna be in a situation, we just gonna have to wait. We're gonna be completely at the mercy of the Lord in these circumstances that we're gonna be in. All right, go ahead.
It says, it is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the Lord, for the salvation of the Lord.
It's good that a man should both wait, all right, and hope for the salvation of the Lord. Okay? And you seen in the book of Judah, her mind was made up. Now we're gonna wait for the Lord's mercy, man. Okay? They fasted, they prayed after that, and the Lord put the spirit on her to put a play together. And then the Lord worked, all right, a mercy, okay, through what? Faith. So whatever position we in, whether it's death, okay, whether we be delivered, or whether we have to wait, okay, we have to react according to faith. So that's why you get Revelation 2:10.
It's Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So we're in the situation to where, death is an option, but the reward is a crown of life. Well, that's immortality, man. That's solid. If you die for Yahushua, that solidifies that you're a joint heir. That solidifies that you're the elect. If you die for the testimony of Yahushua, that's a throne. You see?
It's a great accolade for your legacy too.
Yeah.
A great, a superb accolade, Everyone, whenever, like when you read a story or something, everybody want to read a success story.
Yeah.
When you read a success story, you kind of relate to it. You want to get involved with it somehow.
Yeah.
But when you read about a story about someone failing, it's like it's got to be more to the story or something.
Yeah. Because even the success story, you're interested in see what they went through to get there. So that's the point. Just want to bring that out. Lord will you brothers. All right, and you sisters edified to the next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Bible Ball soon.